welcome back to Slothbox. I'm Lyndon Dixon, and as usual, this video is brought to you by the Excelsior Sporting Club. Today, I'm joined by WBO World Bantamweight Champion Jason Moloney. How you getting on, mate?
Yeah, really good, mate. Really good. Thanks for your time.
Good. No worries. Firstly, I know it's been a few months now, but how does that feel, hearing that? I know you've got the belt behind you. How does that feel?
Yeah, yeah, I love the belt, mate. The belt comes everywhere, and yeah, it's something I'm very proud of. Obviously, something that I've dreamt of, and something I've chased for years and years and years. And yeah, to finally become world champion is an amazing feeling. But yeah, just hungry for more now, and excited to see what the next step is. And yeah, there's exciting times ahead, and
Mm.
I'm in a great position, and I'm working very, very hard to make sure that I keep progressing, keep improving, and keep winning more belts.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about more belts soon, but firstly, I just want to talk about a few fights that have happened recently. I mean, in and around your division, it's crazy at the minute, but for me, at the top of the bill, I want to talk about Inoue against Fulton the other day. First of all, did you see it? And surely is he at the top of your pound for pound list now?
Yeah, it was an amazing performance. I predicted the round and the way the fight would go, which I was pretty happy with, and won a bit of money on the fight, which was great.
It's always
So
great.
yeah, good to get one back. At least I knew he helped me earn a few dollars. It's good.
Mm.
But yeah, it was an incredible performance. Um, I expected him to win. I expected him to be impressive, but probably didn't expect him to just be so dominant and win it so comfortably. But he's a freak, a very, very special fighter, and will go on to do amazing things. Not that he hasn't already done
Yeah.
amazing things, but yeah, will go on now to do some huge things in the sport, and no doubt go down as one of the all-time greats.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, do I have him at the top of my pound for pound list? Well, it's so hard because he was definitely there, and then Crawford came
I
out
know.
and put on a performance as good, if not better.
Mm.
And yeah, probably solidified himself as number one. So look, Anui and Crawford, number one and number two, however way you want to put it, they're the two best in the world at the moment, and two incredible fighters.
I want to talk a little bit about Crawford because for me, I've spoke to so many people in the build up to the fight, trying to get their predictions, and they was either on the fence or leaning slightly towards Crawford, but they would say points victory. Like that's the only way I can see it going. But for me, watching it, it was a one-sided beatdown, and
Yeah.
I don't think anyone other than his camp expected that. What did you think of that fight itself?
Yeah, oh, just an incredible performance. Like you said, I thought Crawford would win, but I expected it to be, a, a really close fight, probably go the distance, and he'd win on points. I had a feeling he could stop him, but I just thought, look, in general, in the past, a lot of the times when you get these mega fights that have got so much hype around them, unfortunately, a lot of these fights never seem to live up to the hype, and neither fighter really wants to really, I guess, take the big risk and put it all on the line, and risk making a mistake and paying the price. And some of these huge fights can be, yeah, a little lackluster and a little boring at times. But yeah, he just went out and just showed how incredible he is, and just yeah, it was a one-sided beatdown, as you said. And yeah, who beats Crawford now? I don't know.
But that brings me on to my next question. I mean, we just spoke about Inoue, just spoke about Crawford. I mean, to speak about those two men fighting within days of each other, really, that just shows for me the state of boxing at the minute. I think it's in a real healthy place. I mean, the rematch between Crawford and Spence is looking like December. I feel like I say, I'm repeating myself, but boxing's in a good place at the minute. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. Boxing's flying at the moment, and the big fights are happening, and the big fights, as I said, are living up to the hype. And you know, boxing's just in the best place I can remember it's ever been, and so many exciting fights to be made, so many exciting fights being made, and yeah,
Mm,
some great performances being produced. So yeah, boxing's absolutely thriving, and yeah, it's exciting to be a part of it, and to be a fan,
mm.
because I'm a massive fan myself, and love seeing these big fights.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about you. I mean, uh, we saw Donaire, a man, when we last spoke, you said that that's a fight you'd like. I mean, he lost to Santiago, so does that change things for you a little bit? Is Santiago now the man you're looking at? Because I know you're an ambitious man and you want to bring the belts together. So, how does that loss for Donaire change things for you?
Yeah, it does. Because obviously my goal is to win all the belts and to become undisputed. And I'm after the belts. I mean, watching the fight, I hoped Donaire would win the fight. Um, Obviously, he's a big name to fight, a future Hall of Famer
Mm,
with a massive following, a legend of the sport in a unification fight is a massive fight for me. So I hoped he'd get the job done. Um, but yeah, it doesn't change things too much. I mean, now I want Santiago because he's got the belt. So whoever's holding the belts is who I'm going after. And as I said, the ultimate goal is to be undisputed. So uh, at the moment, obviously, I'd love to have that fight with Santiago. We've got Rodriguez fighting in a few weeks' time as well. So I'll have my eyes glued to that fight as well and see who wins that fight. And obviously, Takuma Inui has the other belt as well,
mm,
but I believe he's got a fight lined up against Joe Nakaha. So whoever wins that belt, obviously, I'll be going after as well. So, yeah, I mean, as I said, the Donaire fight uh, was a fight that I really, really wanted. He's, I imagine he probably retires now, so we'll wait and see what happens with him. I'll fight anyone that's in front of me, but obviously for me at the moment, my full focus is the other champions
mm.
and going after all the belts.
But one thing you mentioned it there, and when you actually take a step back, it's good to see all those belts in action. Like they are up for grabs. I mean, in boxing before, you got people that hold on to belts for like years really without really doing anything about it. But you named three fighters there, and if you could pick one to have next, who would it be? Would it be Takamura Inoue for the bit of revenge?
Yeah, well, Rodriguez for the revenge,
Yeah,
probably
I
more
know.
so because obviously, yeah, there's history with Anui's brother, but
Mm,
there's more history
mm,
with Emmanuel Rodriguez. So
yeah.
he obviously has to get the job done and win his fight and become IBF champion. But yeah, that's if I could pick one, it's probably that. But look, they all excite me and they're all fights I want, so I'd take any of them.
Mm,
But yeah, if I could pick, if it was up to me, yeah, Emmanuel Rodriguez, get my
yeah.
revenge, um, unify with him. Hopefully, we could fight for the IBF, the WBO, and the Ring Magazine title. So yeah, huge fight, and
Mm.
obviously, revenge is sweet.
Exactly. But moving on from those guys, I just want to speak about someone else in the division. I'd say a month and a half ago, I spoke to Paul Butler and I brought your name up and said, "Is that a fight you'd be interested in?" And he said, "Well, we have respect for you," but he said, "Definitely, that is a fight he wants." Would that be a fight you're interested in? Maybe if you brought a belt to the show.
Yeah, of course. I'm interested in any fight. Obviously, for me, he should want to fight me. I'm
Mm,
the one with the belt, so of course, anyone without a belt wants to fight me. Um, but I'm looking for bigger fights. I'm looking for unification fights
mm,
and chasing the other champions. But if those fights can't be made, then yes, I'd definitely love the fight with Paul Butler. And I've always loved the idea of fighting in the UK. I'd love to go over there and fight
mm,
one day. So if that's the fight that ends up pulling me over there and getting me across the pond, then yeah, I'd absolutely travel and fight Paul Butler in his backyard. But as I said, there's more interesting fights for me, but
yeah.
I'm willing to fight everyone and anyone as long as it makes sense.
Mm. Well, you mentioned about fighting in his backyard. That brings up a great point. I've been asking fighters recently. It's a bit cliche, but I seem to get a different answer every time. What place to fight? What venue is on your bucket list?
Look, for me, I'm hoping my next fight will be in Australia.
Mm,
Obviously, for me to defend my belt on home soil and to try and get the whole country behind me would be an amazing feeling. It's something I've travelled abroad quite a lot in recent years, and majority of my fights have been in America. So to now have the belt, and to be able to bring some big fights down under, and to fill some big stadiums down here, and get the whole country behind me is something that I really am, really keen to do. But I would love to, yeah, love to travel. As I said, I've always wanted to fight in the UK. I've always wanted to fight in Japan,
Mm.
and another definite one that I want to tick off the bucket list would be to fight at MSG. I think that's just such an iconic venue. And yeah, I hope that before my time is done, that I do get to fight, and possibly even headline at Madison Square Garden. That would be a dream come true.
Mm. Well, as usual, it's been a pleasure, but just one more question. Like we said, the belts are in action, and we're only halfway through the year now. So, where do you see yourself come the end of the year? At Christmas, what's happening?
Well, I'm looking to fight in December, where me and my team are putting together plans at the moment, and hopefully, as I said, my first, well, my fight in December, and my first defence or unification will be hopefully in Australia in December. So,
Mm.
yeah, unfortunately, I only get one more fight in this year. If it was up to me, I'd get two more in, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. I'm still recovering from my hand injury in the fight. It's okay. I'm back training, but yeah, it's not ready to fight yet. But I will be ready to fight very soon. And if it's up to me, I'm a unified world champion by the end of the year.
Well,
I would love to fight either Santiago or Rodriguez or Lopez, whoever wins that
mm,
fight. But yeah, one of them to come to Australia, and I'll become unified world champion in a massive fight in Melbourne or the Gold Coast, in front of my home crowd and my friends and my family and everyone that supported me since day one. That would be an amazing, amazing
mm.
feeling, and that's what we're shooting towards.
Well, mate, hope it all falls into place by the end of the year. But anyway, as usual, it has been a pleasure. I've been Lyndon Dixon. He's been Jason Moloney, and we will see you on the next one.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, buddy.